Eso. Venga. 5, venga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eso. Enjoy.
Para el siguiente round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The press conference tours are over, and Canelo had his first day in training camp today, which was so intense that Terence Crawford had to react. After their face-off in New York, it was clear that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford had bad blood drawn between them, and the fight was becoming more violent than fans thought. It's with this hatred that Canelo has begun his training. It's way different from his last fight, as there seems to be some extra motivation this time after Crawford provoked him. He's prepared to come in with his best weapons and techniques, as his training footage has shown, and this forced a funny response from Crawford on social media. And for the first time, fans could sense fear from Terence Crawford. "I'm ready for all he's bringing. I see what he's doing. Bravo!" Amir Khan has previously warned Crawford about fighting Canelo, and while the American is confident he can get the job done, he did once admit there were two parts of his opponent's style that concern him. Over the years, Canelo has developed a fierce reputation for the power in his shots.
Canelo got a great resume. You know, I'm not going to take it away from him. He's fought a lot of great champions, but, you know, at the age that he fought him in, you know, you know, they was already on a decline, some of them, you know, and when he didn't, you know, you see what happened. You know, he fought Laura, you know, and I thought Laura beat him, you know. He fought, you know, May.
More than half of his fights have ended in a knockout victory for the Mexican, and while Crawford isn't fazed about facing him, Canelo's power and size is something that could cause problems. He told TMZ Sports in September 2024, "This fight is massive, definitely. You've got two guys that are top 3 pound for pound going head to head with each other. I understand Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the challenge. I think it's a very intriguing fight." In a recent interview with Carl Frosch, Crawford was asked directly whether he believes the Mexican champion is past his best. His answer left no room for doubt. "I wouldn't say that. I just feel like, you know, it just takes certain fighters to motivate other fighters. Like you're waking up the sleeping giant," Crawford explained.
Whether, you see what happened. He fought Bivol when he went up and tried to be great like I'm doing. And, you know, he came up short. You know, when he fought my boy from Texas, you know, they gave him problems. But, you know, it is what it is. I got the style, I got the skills, I got the heart. And I'm not going to sit around and, you know...
I love that. Beautiful. It's nice to give back, especially to somebody like you, because the inspiration is just unbelievable.
Definitely, especially being from Omaha, Nebraska, and being the only successful boxer that made it from Omaha, that still lives in Omaha. I give so many people in Omaha hope and the drive that they can do the same thing. I'm motivation.
The fights that he's been fighting, he's just like, oh, these guys. But I think him knowing the caliber of fighter that I am is going to push him to rise to the occasion, so I'm looking to fight the best Canelo Alvarez there is. The boxing champion had returned from the press conference tours on Sunday and taken Monday out to rest, before resuming to the gym on Tuesday morning. Canelo Alvarez was seen hitting the pads, punching the bags, and working on his fitness in order to be in the best shape for the fight in 2 months. Most importantly, Canelo Alvarez was seen with a sparring partner as he worked on his defense, his attack, and his footwork. The idea behind his training is that he wants to do some light work to keep his body in the best shape, then later on, he'll get back to more intense training sessions. Another reason is the fact that Terence has been having a good ride training and preparing for the fight since January. Canelo, on the other hand, had William Skull. Hence, it's also an attempt to buy back the time that was lost in preparing for Skull. Let's go, champ! Crawford is going to get knocked out in his own blood. This was what I needed to be sure you're ending Crawford in September, a fan wrote in the comments. Another added, Canelo has a crazy work ethic. Only love for the sport can make a man who's achieved everything. Keep going hard on himself this way. Canelo Alvarez is a worthy legend young boxers can emulate. A third wrote, boxing got tired of matches like the Fatal Fury card in Times Square, and we decided to switch it up to Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. What a time to be alive. One fellow added, Terence Crawford can add all the weight, but Canelo is Canelo for a reason. Get ready for the big deal, can't wait. Aside from the clear weight disadvantage, even Canelo Alvarez is very aware that he's about to face the toughest test of his career when Terence Crawford mounts up to weight classes to meet him at the 168-pound division later this year. As a result, he's begun training early enough to ensure he's physically and mentally prepared to welcome the first undisputed world champion in multiple weight classes in the four-belt era. Canelo Alvarez has devised new training techniques for his opponent, trying to adapt to Terence Crawford's in-ring mobility, boxing skills, and counter-punching ability. Preparing for the bout, Canelo Alvarez has been training intensely to avoid a defeat that would be the third loss of his career.
Boom, 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 bang. Boom, boom, boom,
But more tragically, the defeat would see him lose all his belts and might be the moment where he sadly passes the torch and bids his days of world dominance a final farewell. Previously, Canelo Alvarez has been asked why he continued boxing, despite his many fights and achievements, but he's responded that his love for the sport is what keeps him going. I love boxing, he said.
What's your motivation? You're on weight, you're one of the best fighters in history, but you're very successful. You don't have to work, so you could retire today if you wanted to.
I love boxing. I love boxing and I love being fighting, so that's why I'm here.
Does Ryan B?
While this love is truly real, many fans of Canelo would prefer that he doesn't quit with such a humiliating loss against a fighter from a lower division, but gracefully quit as a champion. Canelo Alvarez isn't going to make significant adjustments at this stage of the game. He has had a lot of success doing things his way. One change did make sense to the 168-pound champion and his team, however, a new, fresh location for his training camp going into his pay-per-view title defense against Terence Crawford on September 12th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Alvarez has been training in Lake Tahoe, California at an altitude of around 6,000 feet. He had been conducting camps in San Diego, which is at sea level. We always prepare 100% no matter where we are, Alvarez said after a media workout Wednesday. It's different being here. At the beginning, I couldn't breathe very well, but right now I feel great. I've found a place that's made me happy and strong. I like being here in Lake Tahoe because I'm 100% focused. It's just me and my team and we're focused on the fight. It makes me feel ready for the fight. The fact he's healthy is another reason he feels good about a tough matchup. The Mexican star blamed subpar performances the past few years, a loss to Dmitry Bivol, and uninspiring victories over Gennady Golovkin and John Ryder, on injuries, including a sore left wrist that required surgery late last year. The wrist is fine now, which has allowed him to train without holding back. "I feel great," he said. "This is going to be one of the best camps I've ever had. I feel great to be able to train 100% now with my left hand. That's made me more confident. When you train knowing that you're healthy, you'll be more confident in the fight." Alvarez insists he will look a lot like the dominating fighter of old when he faces Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Desde muy temprano hay que salirnos de nuestra zona de comodidad. Para empezar.
Canelo Alvarez isn't the type who enjoys the hooting and hollering, but for whatever reason, some opponents love to push his buttons. Caleb Plant did a good job of annoying Alvarez prior to their November 2021 showdown. He taunted the Mexican star every chance he had and also got into a physical confrontation with him during one of their press conferences. The same could be said for Edgar Berlanga. Both fell short and lost their perfect records after the first bell rang. But while Plant and Berlanga suffered humiliating defeats, it was Billy Joe Saunders who was physically and mentally crucified. For years, Saunders thought it was hilarious to make fun of Alvarez. From the way he spoke to his in-ring skills, Saunders attacked him from all angles.
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult.
When the two eventually met, Alvarez showed no mercy, stopping the Brit in round 8 with a broken orbital bone. His rivalry with Saunders is naturally in the rearview mirror 4 years later, though his beef with Terence Crawford has just begun. On September 13th, the two will officially get it on with ring champion Alvarez, defending his undisputed super middleweight titles once more as Crawford chases greatness in another weight division. When it was originally announced, things were cordial. They weren't buddy-buddy, but the reverence they had for one another was obvious. Since then, things have changed.
He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see. You know it.
We'll see.
We're gonna see.
Crawford has been incredibly bold towards Alvarez, both in his actions and words. With the cordial part of their relationship forming into disdain, Alvarez is now warning his man. Although Crawford is one of the best fighters the sport has ever seen, Alvarez plans on handing him a familiar and violent beatdown. "You watched the Saunders fight, right?" Alvarez asked a reporter from Fight Hub TV. "He pissed me off too. It's gonna be almost the same."
The situation.
The push. Tell me a little bit about that. Did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turkey Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to walk me back, and that's why I pushed him. And
some analysts have expressed skepticism about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight. This stems, in part, from his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the dominant display many expected.
And hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Smith. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say it. for the Spence Crawford saga.
Regardless of these concerns, the potential bout between Canelo and Crawford has captivated the imagination of boxing fans. The blend of power, speed, technique, and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo won on Saturday, as he usually does during Cinco de Mayo weekend celebrations, but it was a huge loss for boxing fans. Like many before him, Skull wasn't prepared for the elite challenge ahead, and in turn, he was unwilling to fully engage, as the champ seemed to be happy to accept it and cruise through the motions.
Here it is, the official face-off. The date, September 12th, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. For the undisputed super middleweight champion.
It's not all doom and gloom, however. There is some light at the end of the tunnel, and as the recent string of Canelo fights have lacked excitement and drama, his next opponent might bring back the Canelo we know and love. In step, Terence Crawford. Big money fights versus less than opposition have been the story of Canelo's career for some time. Saturday's meeting was no different, but at least Boxing News has announced a compelling matchup that will not allow Canelo to cruise.
How are you feeling after your great performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win, I come to put a great show, but to put a great show you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Scott?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him, you just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, I'm sorry.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, the former undisputed champ as welterweight and junior welterweight, will be Canelo's biggest challenge since Dimitri Bivol, and arguably a tougher one. We have to put some respect on the name of Turki Alashik, who as soon as he stepped in the ring, announced that on September 12th, the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas will host the long-awaited super fight we've dreamed of in front of 60,000 strong boxing fans in September. Sure, Canelo fighting Bud wasn't exactly a secret, but hearing an official announcement, along with a date and location, couldn't have come at a better time after the weekend of lackluster fights we'd witnessed. Canelo, inside the ring, standing a few feet from Crawford, reacted to the announcement humbly.
Sorry, it's my first time and I just tried to put a good fight and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put great show. You know what I mean?
Do you think
Crawford is one of the best out there, and I like to share the ring with that kind of fighter. It's my pleasure. For now, it seems like we'll have complete professionalism from both men during the build-up, as Crawford responded in the ring with, "I'm feeling blessed. Everything's happened for a reason, and there's a reason why I am here. And in September, I'm gonna show the world what greatness looks like." Meanwhile, perhaps the most shocking boxing rumors to stem from the announcement came when Alashik confirmed that UFC CEO promoter Dana White would spearhead the Canelo-Crawford promotion.
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then we think. Yeah. Do it.
What did you think of Ryan Garcia's performance yesterday?
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing.
Could this be the first of many super fights Dana will promote for Alashik ahead of their new boxing venture under the TKO umbrella? Either way, the fans are winning. All eyes will be on what's arguably the biggest fight of the last decade, alongside Fury versus Usyk, and Canelo will take his usual position as a headline act on Mexican Independence Day. It was first a big dream from Terence Crawford to set up this fight once he defeated Errol Spence. He was called mad for dreaming so big, but now he has his dream fight for himself. One thing is sure ahead of the fight: Crawford will not be as gun-shy as William Skull on fight night. He'll get in there to do some damage, except Canelo has answers to his questions.
Championship of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford.
The real question is, however, whether Crawford could cause the upset in 2 weight classes above his usual division and collect the most emphatic win of his career on top of an already Hall of Fame pro tenure. As fight night draws closer, the boxing world has its fingers crossed in anticipation of one of the most significant fight night in recent boxing history. It's one match that'll prove whether weight classes are as important as boxing fans think they are, or they're just irrelevant factors that have no effect when confronted with skill and technique. What are your thoughts on the September 13th fight between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez? Do you think Canelo's intense training sessions put him in the best position for a victory on fight night? How best can you advise Terence "Bud" Crawford to prepare for this motivated version of Canelo Alvarez? Let's know your thoughts on all of these in the comment section. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.